Toronto is losing more staff over a crack cocaine smoking scandal. Rob Ford's office, as the mayor's policy advisor on council relations, and his executive assistant have both quit. Ford has lost 5 staff members in less than 2 weeks over a video that purportedly shows them smoking crack cocaine. The footage was reportedly shot by men who sold drugs to Ford. The mayor has denied the allegations. To discuss that a bit further, now joined by Joshua Blakeney, Press TV's correspondent, who's joining us live now from Calgary. Now, Joshua, certainly this entire scandal seems to be quite embarrassing for Canadians.
Well, yes, clearly it's well known that the global elite like to cultivate politicians who are easily controlled, and they like to handpick politicians who have vices such as promiscuity, sexual promiscuity, or addictions to drugs and alcohol. So this is a case study if the allegations turn out to be true, because what basically has happened is you've had this drug dealer who's come forward and has been peddling a video which he claims contains images of Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto, appearing to be smoking crack cocaine. And some esteemed journalists in the Toronto Star and from another media outlet actually went and met this drug dealer, viewed the video, and did say that in their view it did appear to be the mayor of Toronto smoking what appeared to be crack cocaine. And so that's what's happening at this stage. Now, this person who's selling this video has now disappeared, and so the plot thickens. But I think the bigger picture is that clearly politicians in Western societies right now are often people who are easily blackmailed, people who are easily controlled. For example, it's widely rumored that in the Harper administration, that there are many homosexuals. For example, John Baird, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is rumored to be a homosexual. Jason Kenney, the Minister of Immigration, is rumored to be homosexual. Even the Prime Minister of Canada, there's even speculation in that vein too. So I think there's a perception that politicians are often people who can be manipulated. And obviously if they have addictions or they're promiscuous, that's the way that global elites, the capitalists, the Zionists too, can control politicians in our society. I also think it's one reason why the Western global elite thoroughly dislike Islamic societies such as Iran, because they, of course, prohibit drugs and alcohol. And that way, politicians in those countries are less easily controlled and manipulated. And I think that's another reason why we see this attempt to secularize and to attack the countries such as Iran, because the politicians can't be co-opted in a way that the politicians in Western societies, who are often half drunk, can be. I mean, I often hear, for example, George Galloway, the British MP, who abstains from alcohol, observing how the British Parliament is chock full of politicians who are drunk the whole time, and indeed they have a subsidized bar on the Parliament sort of campus. And so that's the reality of our society right now. The politicians aren't really in power, and one way that they can be manipulated is through having addictions to drugs and alcohol. And if the allegations vis-a-vis Rob Ford are vindicated and substantiated, then that would possibly fit within that context of politicians being people who are easily manipulated.
All right, Joshua, thanks a lot for that. Well, to discuss that story we brought you a bit earlier about Israeli settlements, we're now joined by Mr. Randy Short once again, who is a human rights activist, who's joining us now on the line from Washington. Mr. Short, thanks again